I've always wanted a record in RuneScape, and I don't want just any record. I want to beat this record from 6 years ago, the lowest combat ultimate Ironman fire cape. And this is me, trying to beat it 5 years ago. I spent 75 hours preparing the account, had one shot, went into the fight caves, and I had absolutely no chance. In fact, I didn't even get close. So 5 years later, 2024, we are back to try and get this RuneScape record again. This time with more game knowledge and a new plan. Can I do better this time? Let's find out. This is so strange. I have not logged into this account for 5 years. I made this after my last attempt and did a couple of stats. I think I got my prayer levels and a little bit of fletching, and then I stopped playing it, I think. But we're back. Today we will continue this account. I'm very excited. Let's get some progress done. I think I'm gonna start questing. That's always a good idea. There we go. First quest done. X marks the spot. And we get an XP lamp for that, which I will put into magic for 4 magic. And there's the dwarf cannon quest completed. Very important. I'm going to need the dwarf cannon for range training later on, which is actually a really important part of this account. So good to get this quest out of the way. And we've completed the Night Sword quest for smithing. I'm going to need at least 50 smithing, so this early XP is going to help a lot. There's the Dorix quest completed for a couple more mining levels. Very nice. And I can do this diary task for the Falador diary, making these limbs. Nice. And there we go. There's Sleeping Giants quest completed. I will be training my smithing in this place. It's going to be a completely different method compared to 5 years ago. I did Blast Furnace last time and it was actually really bad. So I'm going to try this and get like 50 smithing maybe. And yeah, see how much better it is. I will be buying my steel plate bodies and iron plate bodies in Varrock with all the GP. And then I can minigame teleport to the Giants Foundry and just kind of repeat that process. And I should be able to profit a little bit of GP, I think, even. So this should be a good plan. There we go. I made 2 swords. I got 38 smithing and I got 24,000 GP back, which should be enough to buy some more supplies. Yeah, looks like I can do this on repeat, which is perfect. I just handed in my last sword. I got 49 smithing, almost level 50, which I can finish with some other stuff later on. So I am done for now. And this was super fast. Like, Giants Foundry is next level, man. For early smithing XP, especially on an ultimate Ironman, like, this was absolutely crazy. Compared to the Blast Furnace I did last time. Wow, like, I saved a lot of time doing this. And I really enjoyed the minigame too. It's like my first time doing this minigame. Yeah, I really liked it. This was really good. It is time to start the next chapter on this account, which is going to be starting hunting. Around 2 weeks ago, I went on holiday for a few days to Paris and Disneyland with my family, and my niece loves to watch this one kid show called Nijntje. But the problem is, it isn't available in France. So we used NordVPN to switch her location to the Netherlands, and as a result, she was very happy and able to watch the show again. There's 111 different countries to choose from, so there's a lot of options for unlocking content. NordVPN is really handy to have when traveling, not just to switch your location and unlock content, but also to protect yourself in public spaces like restaurants, cafes and airports. Connecting to those public Wi-Fi locations without NordVPN is just unnecessary risk. It's a hotspot for hackers to work. Any hacker on the same network can get access to your personal data like passwords and financial details. NordVPN creates a secure and encrypted tunnel between your devices and the internet, keeping you safe online. NordVPN covers your desktop, phone, tablets, whatever you got. Just download the app and with one click you are protected. Head to nordvpn.com/verfvpn to get a 2-year plan plus 4 months free by clicking the link in the description. It is risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee, and thanks to NordVPN for sponsoring this video and helping me on my trip. I started with some cozy hunter training in the woodlands for level 15, which unlocks butterflies. I always have this same hunter route. Every account I make, every time I have to train hunter, I do the same thing. And a big part of that is butterflies. They're just really easy and quick, and I really enjoy catching them. So yeah, we got to the ruby harvest, did that to level 25, and then moved on to the snowy area. Did these snowy butterflies to level 35 to get another butterfly unlocked. So now I'm camping between the snowy night and the sapphire one. And I was getting like close to 30k XP per hour. It's a bit heavy on the run energy, but this method is extremely good in my opinion, and I like it way more than early level salamanders. So we did the butterflies until level 43 to unlock cabbits, and then went to cabbits to get level 47. And with level 47 you can do orange salamanders, and that's what I did. I did a few hours of orange salamanders to get level 59, which unlocks red salamanders. Nice little upgrade. And I spent a few hours here as well to get level 67 to unlock black salamanders. Did like half a day of black salamanders and I finally managed to get level 74, which is the final hunter level I need on this account. 74 hunter is very important because it unlocks ninja implings. And ninja implings are kind of the key to this account. They give a lot of items I need. They give weapon poisons, prayer potions and a bunch of GP. So we made our way over to Puro, my absolute nightmare place. I was not looking forward going back to this place and camping this for hours, potentially days if I go dry, because I'm going to need a lot of prayer potions for this run, and this is the place I'm going to get the prayer potions, which might be a big mistake, as you will find out later. I upgraded my net to the magic butterfly net to get a bit higher catch rate. I will mostly be catching ninja implings for the items mentioned and magpie implings for the money. My main goal right now is get enough money to buy a cannon. And these implings give a lot of high value loot. The worst part about this place is that it's extremely botted and there's a lot of competition, so you have to really fight for these implings. And there we go, I got pretty lucky on my first prayer potion drop from ninja implings. That is one prayer pot drop out of many I'm going to need. And I finished my first inventory of loot. As you can see in my inventory, that looks really good. A lot of high alks and a lot of things that I can sell for value. And I decided to sell all my loot to the Pawn Infinite's general store because it buys for higher than low alk. I know there are better shops out there, but money really isn't a big problem in the end. As you might have figured out by now, I'm going to need a lot of prayer pots. And yeah, that's going to make me plenty of money on this account. And after selling my first inventory, I made 240,000 GP, which is really good. Kept one of the power amulets as a nice gear upgrade. And we went back to Puro to grind some more GP. And there is the first weapon poison drop. That is very important. I can poison a dagger now, which is actually going to be a key part of the fire cape later on. And there we go. Finished another inventory of loot. Got a lot of nice items again. And I sold everything and we have nearly 500,000 GP now. Finished another nice inventory of loot. And we sold everything again. And we have over 800,000 GP, which is enough to buy the cannon. Unfortunately, we only got one prayer pot drop, which is very unlucky. So we have to fix that later on. And we bought the cannon. Always go through the dialogue with this guy because he sells the cannon for cheap. You can buy the cannon parts in a shop, but I think it's like 50k more. So yeah, just talk to him, ask for the cannon, and there you go. You got a cannon for 750k. I have a little bit of GP left, which I need for cannonballs. And the first chapter of Puro was completed. On my way to Keldegrim, I bought some supplies to make myself some range gear, because the cannon is based on your attack bonus. And the highest attack bonus I can get is in the range skill, so I got myself some gear upgrades. We arrived in Blast Furnace. I am going to make cannonballs to train my ranged. You just buy ores in the shop, dump it on the belt and pay the guy, and you can pretty much get really easy steel bars and make cannonballs. We got level 50 smithing in the process. We can now make mithril bars, which is going to be essential for a later quest. I made myself 400 cannonballs, and my plan at this point was trying to kill Chaos Elemental. Chaos Elemental has a very common drop of a weapon poison P++, which is better than the weapon poison from ninja implings. This was kind of an idea that I've had a long time ago, and I wanted to see if I can actually kill Chaos Elemental. There's a pretty decent spot where it shoots 2 cannonballs, you don't get hit, so it's completely safe. And if I can get my hands on this good weapon poison, we could save a lot of time in the fight caves. And also prevent me from getting some combat XP. I suicided in Lumbridge, put all my stuff on the ground. Only took the essential items to Chaos Elemental. And we tested the method. There are some video guides about this, but you basically stand behind this tree and you walk every time the cannon shoots, and it shoots 2 cannonballs. Unfortunately, I used over 100 cannonballs and it wasn't even close to dying. I think my accuracy bonus or range levels or whatever weren't high enough. So unfortunately I had to abort this mission. It was worth a try, but it didn't end up working. can't plan out everything perfectly. I honestly thought I was gonna be able to kill it, but yeah, I was very wrong. Which is okay, I still have the weapon poison from Ninja Implings, and I will be able to use that. But yeah, a bit of a bummer I wasn't able to kill Chaos Elemental, because that would have been really cool. So yeah, change of plans. We are going to continue with questing part 2. I completed the 3 known village quest for some nice attack levels. My goal is 40 attack to equip a rune dagger. And that's going to be my go-to weapon for poisoning. And it doesn't give me extra combat levels. I also completed the Grand Tree for some agility levels, attack levels and magic levels. And we're only 2 attack levels away from level 40 now. Followed up with the Vampire Slayer from easy attack XP. And we're only 1 level away from level 40. I used one of my weapon poisons to make an Eddy dagger, and with that dagger I can do the next quest, the Priest in Peril quest. I need to do this quest to get the attractor for ranged. So we poisoned the temple guard and completed the Priest in Peril quest. I then made a little detour to Pure to get some really handy items. I got myself a Mind Talisman for the Falador Diary task. And I got myself a rune dagger from Eclectic Implings. And with that drop, I made the best poison dagger I can get. And I can also get rid of all my weapon poisons. I made the Mind Tiara for the Falador task. I had some spare cannonballs after the Chaos Elemental mission. And it is now time to actually properly train ranged. Got myself 17 construction to complete all of the Falador Diary tasks. I had to talk to this dude to ask for my family crest, and with that, complete all the tasks. Which means I can claim the Falador shield and a nice XP lamp. Unfortunately, I made a very big mistake. And the only thing that actually saved me was the Falador Diary reward. I tried to go into the Abyss to go to the Water Altar to complete the Lumbridge Diary task. And I ended up dying in that area. If you teleport with the Zemi Mage, it drains all your prayer to 0. And you can protect yourself with melee protect. Now, I didn't really have a way to restore my prayer points. Luckily, I got the Falador shield, so because of this shield, I was able to go back and pick up all my stuff. I didn't end up completing the Lumbridge task, so I had to come back later for that, but that was very scary. I was basically soft locked out of my stuff. I completed the Ernest the Chicken quest, another requirement needed for animal magnetism, and I ended up getting 40 attack for the rune dagger. A very essential item for the fight case run. I then made a bunch more cannonballs because I still had to get a lot of slay levels and range levels. And we still had some GP left over to fund the cannonballs. I got myself 51 smithing, and that is the requirement to make a Mithril Axe, which I do need for the quest. I got level 18 Slayer, which is the requirement for the quest. And 30 ranged at Hill Giants. And there it is, animal magnetism completed. I got the Ava's Attractor, which is going to be very nice for the fight caves. And almost all of the questing completed for this run. The final quest I completed was Druidic Ritual to get all the quest points to go into the Champions Guild. And in that shop I was able to buy my last upgrade, the Coif. I made the last few hundred cannonballs to finish off range, and I went to Ogresses. And I got all the XP I need before using the XP lamp, which will get me level 36 ranged for the Mithril Crossbow. Since finishing range, I sold my cannon to get some GP back, which I'm going to need for fletching later on. And I decided to go back to Pure. I got 1 prayer pot drop and made a bunch of GP again. And I made myself 21,000 headless arrows. Did another trip of Implings, I managed to get 1 more prayer pot drop, and I have over 600,000 GP now. Almost 700,000, and I'm going to need this to buy the arrow tips. Alright, I've decided to do the last Lumbridge task. I went to the Water Altar. That will get me a lamp, and if I use that lamp on ranged, that will give me exactly 36 ranged and no extra XP, which is the level I need for the crossbow. And the reason I need this crossbow is because I can use emerald bolts for poisoning NPCs, which is going to play a big part into the run. So yeah, at this point, we basically need bolts, which I can get. I need more prayer pots, and I need the fletching levels. I went to the fletching shop, going to buy myself about 20,000 mithril arrow tips, so I can use them while catching implings, and prepare myself the fletching levels. 20,000 arrow tips bought. Time to get some more prayer potions. And there it is, 58 fletching, have a few arrows left, but that is the final fletching level I need. I can make emerald bolts now. I made myself some mithril bolts, I bought some emeralds and made bolt tips in Current. And I'm going to make myself a few hundred bolts. I did some library for level 27 mage, and that is everything I need to enchant the emerald bolts and have all the bolts ready for the 5Ks run. I also made myself a mithril crossbow, doing all the last gear preparations, enchanted all the bolts. I got pretty much everything except prayer potions. I have 16 prayer pots at this point, so I decided to camp pure for a few days to get the rest of the prayer potions. The goal is 28 prayer pots. Okay, I just got the last prayer pot drop. I freaking spent like 3 full days in this hell. I just could not get prayer potions. I went really dry. But I'm finally out of here. We have everything I need. 28 prayer pots. It is time to prepare the inventory, and the account is pretty much ready. Got myself some monk rope legs for the extra prey bonus. I think that's gonna be worth the inventory slot. Bought some karambons for emergency food. And that is pretty much my inventory. We are over 3 full days of progress into the account. Over 80 hours this time because of the freaking Puro dry streak. But yeah, the account is finally prepared. I can do my 5K run. I always use rotation 2 for all my fight caves, and I have a document when to go into the cave that gives you rotation 2, and for me it was 1337 UTC in the game, a very nice number, and the run begins. Basically, I need to safe spot everything. I cannot get hit by anything. I have 10 hit points. Everything is dangerous. Any mistake can pretty much kill me instantly if I'm not careful. So a trend in this run is safe spotting stuff and poisoning it. And I'll let poison do all the work, basically. I want to get as little combat XP as possible and poison as much as possible. With the dagger and the emerald bolts. And not just let the NPCs die to poison. Before I went into the cave, I've mapped out every single wave in a Google document. I looked at all the waves. With the fight cave rotations, you get all the predicted spawns. And I basically found a spot in the cave to set up myself the best possible. And yeah, basically solve every wave beforehand. Sometimes it would require a little bit of running around to get them in the right spots. But that is the general idea of these low-level runs. And for the ranger runs, I used my crossbow, waited for the bolts to hit with poison, and then again wait for poison. I want to get as little possible combat XP. The only downside is this takes forever. It takes a really long time to complete waves like this. I've also had these really convenient marked tiles for all the NPCs that I cannot safe spot. For example, this bat is kind of in the way. And if I stay inside of this square, the ranger will never reach me. And I can kind of run around and kill the bats like this. Just have to hit one poison and run around. Make sure they don't attack me. And I can get rid of all the NPCs. It's kind of like a big Tetris puzzle, these waves. And it's really fun, actually. Figuring out the best way to solve these waves. And then doing it step by step. That's essentially what this feels like. The first hit points level, I will most likely get a maximum of 10 hit points levels in this run. But the lower my hit points at the end, the better. And the more combat levels I save. The lowest level is level 30, but my goal is level 28 or 29. And we got to the melee waves. Same idea, you just safe spot the melees. They just take like 2 times longer to kill compared to the rangers. And any of these NPCs can instantly kill you. The ranger can one-hit me at this point. The melee can one-hit me at this point. So I have to be extremely careful. And I got to wave 20 on my first session. And that took a total of 3 hours and 33 minutes to get to wave 20. The further I got into these waves, the more dangerous it got. In some waves, it's better to actually let the ranger attack you instead of safe spotting it. I just have to prey flick it or let my prey run out and just wait until it dies to poison. That way it will be easier and more consistent to get the other NPCs in a wave safe spotted. You get the idea by now. You want to safe spot as much as possible, poison as much as possible, and not take too many risks. And we got to the mage waves. This is where the fun stuff begins. These things have a lot of hit points. And killing my first major took 15 minutes. That is a long time. Decided to take a break after the first major wave. And the total time into the cave is a little over 7 hours now. Alright, so far so good. I finally got to the wave 50s. I'm going to take a little break now, and the total time is over 14 hours. I beat my personal best by a lot of waves right now. And here are a couple really interesting wave solves. Alright, this is it. I have made it to Jet. That is super exciting because I'm actually not too afraid for Jet. The general idea is the same. I just say spot it and poison it. I just have to deal with the healers correctly. But yeah, that's good. I feel pretty confident at this point. I successfully safe-spotted all the healers, but I have a feeling that Jet is at full HP, which is a big problem. I tried to solve this by leaving one healer alive, safe-spotting it behind Jet, and continuing with the Jet HP. But it turned out I made a mistake. I was too slow tagging the healers, and as a result, the healers spawned again, which isn't ideal. But this time I was able to tag them really quickly, because there was already one safe spotted. Little bit of an error, but luckily I didn't ruin a run because of it. I safe spotted the healers again, killed the 2 that were alive, and this time I was successfully able to hit Jet over half health without the healers respawning. I was very scared to get another combat level though. I was about 20 hit points XP away from level 29 combat, and this last bit of hit points XP would decide if I would be level 28 combat or 29 combat. Luckily, I had 5 hit points XP to spare, and we completed the run with 28 combat. That was amazing. And there it is. I got the 5K record on an Ultimate Ironman. This run took a total of 21 hours, and as far as I know, that is a record. I have the lowest combat 5K in the game right now. I'm sure there are many ways to beat this, but the tricky part about these runs is the amount of time it takes to prepare an account like this. You can't just buy everything you need, get these stats real quick on the main and go in. Preparing the account actually takes several weeks. So if someone is gonna beat this, I would love to see it. But I've always wanted to get a RuneScape record. I finally got one. And on an Ultimate Ironman as well, which is amazing. Yeah, I'm actually really happy I completed this. I did that really well, I think. Out of everything I've completed in the game, this achievement was definitely up there in terms of PVM challenges. Really enjoyed that. It was good to give myself a nice PVM challenge again. And yeah, we got a cool account to flex now. If you got this far into the video, you are an absolute legend. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed my second attempt of this challenge. I had a lot of fun making this video, and if you want to support me, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps in the algorithm. And have a great day, everyone.